So there was this really interesting study that I heard about a while back, and I was recently reminded about it. So basically what they did is they recruited volunteers, and there was 100, so about 200 people it was, where they would basically introduce them to the person, the researcher, and hand them a drink, either a hot beverage or a cold beverage. And then they were told that they were going to do a task in a little bit, but here's your refreshment for now, right? And then, so purposely 100 were giving a hot beverage and 100 were given a cold beverage. Then when they got into the testing room, they were asked to read through sort of a biography or something about somebody. And then they were asked to rate how they felt about this person and what sort of I guess, vibe they got off of it. And what was really interesting is about 80% of the time, a person who had a cold beverage would rate the person that they were reading about negatively. So they would say they were cold, they were like very off-put-ish, like they would rate the person that they were reading about as more cold. And what's the interesting thing is it was the same bio for both people. So the people who were holding a hot beverage were asked to hold a hot beverage, basically rated that person as a warm person, as an inviting person. And then what's really cool about it, like your temperature, your state, your physiology affects the state of your mind. So think about that for a moment. The way you feel affects the way you act. Of course, that sounds pretty intuitive, but you can play that to your advantage. So if you want to feel better about something, you warm yourself up in some way. Or, I mean, if you want to feel worse about something, you make yourself cold. So there's ways that you can affect your physiology to affect the way that you act. Now, what I really think is cool about this is that it could be that awareness that you're lacking, that maybe there's things around you that are affecting you in a way and making you feel bad about a certain thing when you don't need to. You're feeling cold, uninvited with something because of the way your physiology is. So maybe warm yourself up using breathing, using warming up, something to help yourself feel better about this thing. Now, it's a very limited example, but it does extrapolate to something larger here, that you can affect your experience by the way your body is. The physiological state your body's in affects your mental state. So the way, how shallow you're breathing, how deeply, or how much oxygen you're bringing in, your heart rate, all these things affect the way you feel. And the way you feel affects the way your body works. It's a two-way street. So just becoming aware, become conscious of your breathing, conscious of your thoughts, conscious of your environment can help you to have a more positive effect, because you can start to play that to your advantage. Once you are aware of how this stuff is affecting you, you can play to your advantage. So what I'm asking you to do is to be the people who were holding the warm beverage. They saw things as a more positive way, simply because they were physically warmer. So how can you physically change the way your body's acting, behaving, to get what you want out of life?